What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I'm here to do a tap into the soul, into your soul for the sign of Cancer. Okay? Hope you guys are doing well. Cancer, this is your last reading for the week. Okay? Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay? So, hopefully, if you're new to this reading, okay, we are only using one deck, okay, um, which has touch drawing illustrations on it by Deborah Koff Chapman. The deck itself is called Soul Two Cards deck, okay. We are going to pull three cards, one from the top, one from the bottom, and one energetically from the middle, okay. And in doing so, we will be reviewing your past, present, and future, okay. And we'll be asking three questions. If you like, you can take the time to get a pen and piece of paper to kind of write down your own interpretations as we go through the readings here, okay. And give me a moment, you guys, because my eye is like bothering me on my contact, okay. um Once we do that, we'll go into the bottom of the deck to get your overall outcome, okay. So at this point in time, you can write out what you would like your overall outcome to be, um, based on your situation at this time, okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading, okay. I'm going to pull one from the top, one from the bottom, and one energetically from the middle, okay. And we'll look at the bottom of the deck momentarily, okay. I do not flip all the cards over at one time, as it would be too much energy to read at one time on the table if we flip them all over. So we go one at a time, okay. So Cancer, I need you to be completely honest with yourself as you view these images, okay, and as we answer, or we'll go over each question for each placement, okay. So for your past placement, I need you to consider what held you back in the past as you look at this imagery here, okay. What held you back in the past, okay. What held you back in the past, Cancer? As you look at this imagery, you can write it down for yourself, or you can just look at this imagery and see how it makes you feel, okay. There's a lot going on in this imagery, Cancer. What held you back in the past? This bird on their chest here, okay, feminine energy here, okay. Their head is in the shape of a bird, but there's a bird on the chest, and there's this scribbling over the stomach, primarily the sacral chakra, okay. I'm getting this vibe of mother, okay, mother bird, baby bird, possibly that type of vibe, a very close vibe with your mother, okay. There's this orb over her head, okay. Symbolizing something in reference to this relationship, okay? Being very close to your mother, but something is there, and it's kind of hard for me to like get it out. Possibly some type of, maybe you have a sibling, maybe at the time when you were already born, toddler age, your parent possibly had another child or was with another child and raising you, okay? Something happened in the past with your mother. Maybe your mother was in a single parent. Maybe you were raised in a single parent home by a motherly figure, okay? As you think of mother birds with their children, with their baby birds, they feed them from their mouths, okay? They chew up the food for them, they put it, in their mouths. They go hunt for the food and they come back and they feed them, okay? And they are everything, okay? Cancer, I don't want to say maybe being coddled by your mother is what held you back in the past, in a sense of a possibility that you look for in your relationships. Your relationship with your mother affects your relationships outside of your mother. When it comes to romantic relationships, you look for people that are kind of like your mother, okay, in a sense. Okay, Cancer, you have that tendency of looking for some similar attributes of a motherly type figure. Maybe you are, in the past, that's what you were doing, okay? For some, I feel this competitiveness to be loved by your mother before your sibling was born, trying to kind of state dominance over your mother. I don't know why, but I feel this was something that held you back in the past. Like I said, staking dominance over your mother before another sibling was born, okay, is something that I'm feeling as well, okay, within the Cancer collective, okay. A mother's love is infinite, okay. I don't have children, so I can't say that parents don't pick a favorite or anything of that nature, but I just have this feeling, Cancer, that you primarily state dominance over your parent, primarily your mother, for a reason, okay? Before any other sibling could be born, okay? You wanted to make your presence known to your mother, okay? And that possibly, maybe because her opinion matters the most over anybody's, and possibly that held you back in the past. Like I said, there's also this strong innate feeling that your relationships suffer because you're looking for someone that would possibly be approved by your mother. Again, single family home, single parent home, your mother is the provider, had to be the provider, the supporter, everything to you. And so you possibly look for that, or looked for that in someone in the past, okay, instead of looking for particular attributes that were attractive to you that were not mother based, okay. I don't want to stay on that too long. We're already at 10:29 in your reading, but that's what I feel, okay. It's what held you back in the past, okay. Get in where you fit in, take what resonates, and pass the rest to the next, okay. Next, Cancer, we're going to go into the present. What continues to hold you back presently? What continues to hold you back presently, okay. Shocking that this card is coming up here in the middle, okay. I believe Gemini got this card, but it was not in the present, it was in their future placement, okay. So maybe you have Gemini in your chart. I will be putting a link in the description, as I've done for every sign this week, in reference to birth chart readings. I have gotten one from Miss Yasmin Bland. Her link will be in the description below. She is not sponsoring me. I'm not plugging her for any reason. I've actually received a free birth chart from her. If you go on her website, it will say free horoscope chart, but that's the same thing, okay. It's very eye-opening, and it will give you some insight as to who you are, based off of astrology and where the planets were at the date you were born in time, okay. Very, very, very good reading to have. And then primarily look at your sun, moon, and Venus in 7th house. May be very important to you in reference to house or relationships, okay, or any other placement may be of importance to you. You can come back and look at your tap into the soul reading for that particular sign. But nonetheless, let's get back to your present, okay. Take a look at this card, Cancer, see how it makes you feel, and figure out what it is that's holding you back presently as you look at this imagery, okay. Presently, again, it's very strange to have this card here in your present. Presently, you have this innate wisdom about you, but it's wisdom that tends to hold you back presently in a weird way, because you compartmentalize what it is that you know, and take it to a different level, okay. Your third eye is somewhat, it's like it's aligned, but it's also out of alignment, okay, because you're focusing on the wrong things, okay. Possibly the negative, in a sense, as this face is decayed, okay, slightly. Maybe the word calcified is a little bit better of a choice word. Maybe not decayed, but calcified. And so there is a meditation for calcified third eye that you may want to look into on YouTube, because it's like your vision is blurred, okay. You try to read in between the lines too much. You're focusing on the wrong things, okay. While you have wisdom in a main area, there's like little tiny intricacies that you're paying attention to that really are not part of the bigger picture, okay? And that is what's holding you back presently, okay? Think of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is just as important as book intelligence, okay? Because you need to focus on your empathy, okay? That's lacking in you right now, Cancer, is a little bit of empathy. You're thinking too much on the small side of things when you need to look and expand your mind a bit, okay? And so it's expanded, but it's expanded to the wrong things, to the wrong thinking, okay? Possibly going into a negative frame of mind, while using your past experiences to evaluate where you are presently, okay? If you keep reverting to the past will keep reoccurring, okay? As I'm looking at this imagery, it's like I'm feeling like Groundhog Day, just the same thing over and over again, over and over again. You keep repeating yourself. There's maybe things that you're procrastinating on to do that could free something to grow here, okay? That could remove that blurred vision from your third eye, okay? Is because you're only thinking in one way, okay? You need to expand your thoughts, okay? And really think in terms of empathy, of emotional intelligence, okay? Not just psychological or psychoanalyzing, okay? That's not the main point to get to a resolution, okay? Sometimes emotional intelligence is needed, not psychoanalysts, okay? And, no offense, but unless you have some acronyms behind your name or some letters behind your name, such as PhD, MD, okay, you can't do that to people, okay? You can't treat people in that way, okay? Or evaluate people in a sense like you have a doctorate, okay? You can't do that. I don't try to do that. I don't do that at all. I lead more so in emotional intelligence and common sense. Book knowledge has nothing to do with it. It's emotional intelligence. I am an empathic person. I'm very empathetic. I'm also sympathetic to people as need be, okay? And whenever there's a hard lesson that needs to be learned, I am willing to portray and give the truth as it needs to be said, okay? But you take too much of your experience and wisdom to another level where it's somewhat demeaning, but you don't go by your own advice. You are one to tell other people, or portray this wisdom to others based on your experience, but you don't take your own advice, okay? And that's where you have this calcified third eye, because you feel like your advice doesn't pertain to you. It's only to pass on to others, but you can do whatever you choose to do freely. It's just about telling other people what to do, okay? So it should go both ways. If you're giving someone else advice about something, you should be able to take your own advice as well, okay? I'm not going to stay on that long, as we're already at 1932 in your reading. Cancer, what or how will you change your future, okay? How will you change your future? This is your card here, okay? How will you change your future? Take time to look at this card and see how it makes you feel, okay? You can write this down, how you feel as you're looking at this imagery, okay? It is time to grow, okay? Cancer, again, like I said, it's time for you to take your own advice. No more psychoanalyzing other people, okay? It's time for you to psychoanalyze yourself, okay? You are so great at it, you should be able to take your own advice. And to change your future, that's what you need to do, okay? It's time to grow and evolve. Speak from, of course, experience, but speak truth, okay? No half truths, okay? It's time to grow and expand in a sense of no longer being that child that needs their mother's healing, okay? And maybe that's what you did. You were too much into needing your mother so much, okay? I don't like saying the term mama's boy, or I don't really like saying that, okay? But I do hear that, that mama's boy type syndrome, but kind of look at, did you gain anything from your mother as far as her empathy? When I think of mama's boy, daddy's little girl, look at the connotation of it in a sense of it's always like that. It's always been like that. Mothers tend to be more attached to their sons if they have them, and daughters are more attached to their fathers. Look at the energy of it all, okay? Boys are attached to their mothers to learn empathy. That's how it should be. The connotation of it, in my opinion, okay? I could be wrong, but I'm talking about energetically and spiritually and growing, okay? Did you gain anything from being attached to your mother other than wanting her love? Did you learn empathy? Did you learn how to be emotionally intelligent? What attributes from your mother did you take on yourself? Did you take on any of those attributes? Or did you gain attributes more so from your father? Okay? With daughters, I am a daddy's girl. My father is passed, but I always loved my dad even though he was not around. Okay? I always had a love of my father. And that's because I needed to see what a man is supposed to be. I've had male role models in my life, but no one who strongly could show me what a man was supposed to be or what type of man I should aspire to be with. I had to create that vision for myself, okay? And so I feel like little girls are more closer to their fathers because they are a protector, they are a provider, things of that nature, and they give you an ideal role model for a little girl of who or what a man should be, okay? Boys get that too. This doesn't mean that they don't, but they do. And yes, you can pull some attributes from your mom as to see who can fill that motherly role if you have children, okay, or if you aspire to have children. But if that's not on your list of things to do, you have to then create who it is that you want to be with, okay? And that's just getting back on your past here. But for some reason, it feels like that has to be said for you, Cancer, okay? So if you have children of your own, you know, and it's a family dynamic, and you have either a son or daughter, your son or daughter needs those attributes, needs those things to view, to see. If you have a daughter and they're with their mother, they should be aspiring to see what a woman is, okay? And how they should act and move as they grow into a young woman, okay? The same vice versa for a boy. Your son should look at you and see what a man is to be, what he's to aspire to. You're his role model, okay? So that's just a small insight that needed to be said during your reading, okay? It actually had to be somewhat channeled in a sense, okay? But nonetheless, it's time for you to grow, okay? It's time for you to mature. And maybe Cancer, you have a new life coming in, okay? That you have to prepare for, okay? And those are the things that you need to look for, okay, and prepare for presently, okay? Because your wisdom is going to be needed, but it needs to be of full truth, okay? It needs to be of honesty. It needs to be of rid of all toxic karmic energy, okay? And you have that surrounding you presently, and that needs to be pulled back, okay, in order for you to be the person you're meant to be future wise, okay? So with that being said, Cancer, we are going to look at the bottom of the deck to see what your overall outcome is, okay? Shocking that this is at the bottom of the deck for you, Cancer. Overall outcome, looking at this, is somewhat in a sense of, asking for help. Maybe, hopefully, that's part of your wanted outcome, is being able to ask for help, knowing that you're drowning emotionally, Cancer, and deep down you are a very sensitive sign. Cancers are very sensitive, okay? And you need to ask for help. Know that while you may always be the one that people go to for wisdom, or you have wisdom to show other people, what or how do you take care of yourself, okay? When you are deep in your darkest hour, who is there to help you, okay? Or do you call for help, or will you call for help when it's time for you to be the one to listen and gain advice from someone else? Are you strong enough to gain advice or say that you need help? With this image, the person is holding on to their throat here, okay? You need to be mature enough to say, I need help sometimes, okay, Cancer? You can't do everything yourself, okay? And you shouldn't, okay? While it's okay to be independent, and while it's okay to feel or pretend that you have everything together, you don't always, okay? We don't always have everything together. I don't have everything together. I have my moments where I purge and cry, asking why, and I call out for help to whoever I need to, whether it be Mother Gaia, whether it be to the universe, whether it be to the Holy Spirit, whether it be to a person, okay? I had a favorite person that I used to like to talk to. I don't have that person anymore. So I have to find other ways to ask for help to get me through the darkest times. You have to be able to do that as well, okay? So even if it is through therapy, your best friend, book, whatever the case may be, do what you have to do to get yourself out of your own deepest thoughts, okay? As they crowd you like an ocean, okay? It is okay to ask for help, okay? You should not feel like it's codependency. It's not codependency to ask for help, or to just ask for a hug, or to just ask someone to listen, or ask for advice and you listen, okay? You don't always have to be the one that has all the answers, because sometimes your advice is clouded by your own judgment, okay? So with that being said, Cancer, you are super extended. I hope this made sense. I feel like there were a lot of energies here today in your reading. So hopefully there's a little bit of everything for all the Cancer collective. Again, take what resonates and pass the rest to the next, okay? But until next time, I will be on a 2-week hiatus after next week. So to clear the energy, so I will not see your sign again until next month. So hopefully the energy will be raised and there will be a change. But until then, peace.